Now for some important news, an event that could change how we think about earning money. Today in Ottawa, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney unveiled a new government investment platform created to improve the financial well-being of citizens. Key points of this program were announced during a press conference.
Mr. Carney, what exactly is this new government platform for citizens?
It's a special investment system backed by the government and designed for the average citizen to earn money. The platform operates using AI and is capable of independent trading on global financial markets. The platform minimizes risks and ensures a stable income.
Is this another national wealth fund?
Not at all. This isn't a fund where citizens receive minimal payouts. The program is designed so that citizens can safely grow their savings, and the government provides guarantees and conditions for passive income.
What is the minimum investment amount and what income can citizens expect?
After consulting with the Bank of Canada, we've set the minimum amount at $355. This is the optimal amount for the system to begin trading and immediately generate income for the user. Final data from the trial period shows a stable monthly income of $4,000 to $10,000 for each user. I'd like to point out that 93% of transactions are profitable.
Are there any risks for investors?
All investments are insured. In the event of unsuccessful transactions, users receive 98% of their investment back. Not a single case of lost funds was recorded during the testing period.
How is the program security insured?
The Bank of Canada guarantees all operations. All transactions undergo a multi-stage verification process, and a reserve fund of $250 million compensates for any potential losses.
The government investment program is now available to Canadian citizens. However, the number of places is strictly limited, only 15,000 spots for users. It is expected that all places will be filled in the coming days. Financial market experts have already called this development a breakthrough in private investment, capable of seriously impacting the country's economy. We will closely monitor the development of this system, but for now, let's move on to the next news.
Yes, this is a scam, and it might be obvious to you, but it won't be obvious to other people, and nobody deserves to get scammed. I want to thank the person that tipped me off about this. They had sent me a link they had found on Instagram, and they had already reported it. By the time I clicked on the link to follow it, it had already been removed. So I started to sleuth around on Facebook, and I found other people talking about this scam, but I wanted to get the video because what I had been told was that it was like really, it was pretty good. And that it's scary that it looks like it's a CBC News article. So what I want to do is just break down what's on this site and read through it all for you. And then I'm going to just show you what else I found on Facebook where there's this same iteration of this particular scam. Now, so if you don't know who this is Prime Minister Mark Carney. Clearly, this is not the real Prime Minister Mark Carney. This has been tampered with. This is fake. And it could happen with any elected official. And I have heard that it has. It could be your premier. It could be, and it's probably going on in the US as well. But this was just sent to me by a fellow Canadian. And I want to warn other Canadians about this. Also, if you have an older person in your life, maybe your parents, maybe they go to the Legion and they play crib every Wednesday, spread the word on this. It can be really shameful to get sucked into something like this, but we're all open to manipulation. We're all able to get scammed at one point or another. So let your loved ones in your life, let your friends and your neighbors know about this scam. This isn't just restricted to one elected official. This can happen to anybody. So we have to watch out for each other. It doesn't matter what your faith is. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter what you identify as. Scams don't care. They will go after anyone. So we really need to have each other's backs here. Okay, so this is the website, this fake website that looks like it's a CBC News site. And I remember, I think it was earlier this year or last year, Northern Perspective had covered a scam like this, very similar, and it was with Pierre Poilievre. So now we've got Prime Minister Mark Carney. There's Pierre Poilievre. I was looking on Facebook. Somebody had said they had seen an ad with Premier David Eby. So I haven't come across that yet. But here's the site. So it says, Official Government of Canada launches State Investment Platform. Jenna Benstreet, CBC News, posted July the 4th, 2025 Eastern Time. Last updated July the 6th, 2025. And I forgot to mention where I eventually stumbled across this finally was I was on X. And I thought, oh, I think this is the thing. So I just clicked to get to here, but I didn't do any additional clicking to go to another website. I didn't even want to risk it. Okay, so now it says, and you'll see, it says 33 comments. And we're going to get to that because even the comments are scamming. Like this whole website is just designed to scam you. And it's really well done. And I would just hate to see somebody lose money because of this scam. So it says Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has officially announced the launch of a state investment platform aimed at the financial strengthening of the country and the living standards of its citizens. At a press conference, Carney answered journalists' questions in detail about the new initiative, which is part of the government's plan for the coming year. Key moments from Mark Carney's press conference. This is just unreal how much detail they go into with this. Can you imagine crafting this website, putting comments in there? You know, they tampered with the news article or the news segment itself, having somebody, you know, you can kind of see there's this hesitation. And they've doctored like Mark Carney, you know, talking about this. It's just, if you don't know what to look for, this can really fool somebody. Okay, so now it says CBC News journalist. It just says CBC News journalist, doesn't say the name, whoever supposedly asked him, because this conversation never happened. Mr. Prime Minister, what exactly is the new Bitcoin Canada platform? And there's a hyperlink there. I didn't click on any of these links. And if you do come across this, I suggest you don't either. Because who knows if you're going to be downloading something or what. Just report this to Canada's Competition Bureau, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, and also spread the word to your friends and neighbors. Mark Carney, this is a special investment system supported by the state and designed for the earnings of ordinary citizens of the country. The platform operates using AI and is capable of independent trading on global financial markets. This reduces risks and helps to generate stable income. The system itself works as an automated trading neural network. It finds price differences on exchanges and executes thousands of transactions per second. The program can earn even on small price changes and works faster than a human. This is going to be really, it's going to impress people that think, you know, oh, AI, this is cutting edge technology. It's going to go faster than what any human could possibly do. It's going to be automated. This is the same that we see in those multi-level marketing pyramid schemes where there's that trading component to it. This is just so sad. And then they've got this little ridiculous picture how the investment platform works. It's just circles. The system analyzes at the same time. Okay, the first one says, starting from the left and then just going around. Company reporting with forecasts for future results. Historical data reveals hidden patterns. Oh yeah, the hidden patterns that only AI can figure out. Real-time macroeconomic indicators. News feeds with automatic analysis. National Post journalist. Can we consider this government program as an analog of a national welfare fund for the population? Will citizens be able to receive payments from the state under this program? Mark Carney, not at all. This is not a fund where citizens are given minimal payments that are not enough for anything. The platform is created for a different purpose so that citizens can safely invest and multiply their capital tenfold. The state, in this case, provides guarantees and creates conditions for passive income. The Globe and Mail journalist. Please tell me, is this program free or do citizens need to contribute a certain amount to participate? Mark Carney. After consulting with the Bank of Canada, we set a minimum amount of $355. This is the optimal amount with which the system can start trading and immediately generate income for the user. Moreover, this amount remains accessible to the majority of citizens. So $355 is the buy into this thing. Toronto Star journalist. How can citizens be sure that there are no hidden financial risks in the system and that it operates transparently? Mark Carney. The final data from the trial period showed that users can expect a monthly income of $4,000 to $10,000 with a minimum investment of $355. According to statistics, 93% of all transactions were profitable. Now, if you were somebody that were seriously contemplating this, at that, I'd like to encourage you to set a boundary. Whenever you encounter something, you're going to have a natural reaction that's going to trigger. So for example, you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to create a boundary so I'm not going to get scammed. Whenever I'm presented with a get rich quick scheme, a lowish investment and a high state of return with like an impossibly high guarantee rate, that's going to trigger me to like take a step back and think, okay, this is a get rich quick scheme. I need to ask for somebody to take a look at this. And that, just that paragraph, I mean, there are a lot of other red flags throughout this, but this is something that you say you've watched the video, you're reading through all of these questions and answers, and you're finding it, this sounds really good. That part should just set off alarm bells for you. So it's a classic get rich quick scheme. Okay, then it has another little picture here, distribution of user revenue during the testing of the public investment program. They just made this up. 4,000 to 6,000. Like it 4,000 to 6,000, about 4,400 users, 6,000 to 8,000, about 3,850 users. It says income interval in Canadian dollars. This is worse than the Nueva multi-level marketing pyramid scheme that's launching right now. But I know that there's going to be people that give money to this. And it just, I just hope that this video and then, the network of Canadians warning other Canadians can intercept as many people as we can so they don't lose money. Because it might not just be $355. You might, I don't know, the next step, there will probably be additional expenses, because that's how these scams usually run. Okay, Financial Post journalist, why are you limiting the number of participants? And how will this affect accessibility for citizens? And before I read the fake Mark Carney's answer, that was another thing in that video when at the fake news segment, is that they're creating that urgency, that fear of missing out. There's limited spots, only 15,000. You need to be one of the lucky few. So it's discouraging you from seeking out additional help, like just an objective source. Phone your accountant, go to the bank, say, is this legitimate? Like, would, the world is a crazy place, but would this actually happen? You'll think, I want to keep it secret because I want to be one of the lucky people that gets in on this incredible opportunity. That should also be a tripwire for you. That could be a boundary that you set in place. If I'm ever starting to get emotionally manipulated, that I feel I've got something secret and I need to act quickly, I've probably just stumbled across a scam. Just take a step back and ask somebody else to take a look at what you're doing. And if you feel like you need to be secretive about it, you're being manipulated. So I wanted just to bring that up. Then it says, to ensure optimal system performance, we are forced to limit the number of participants. Of course you are. After consulting with technical experts, 15,000 positions have been allocated for the first phase of the project. Of course, this is all completely made up. It doesn't matter how many people, click on the link and give money. They will take everybody's money. But this is just designed to scam you. They're creating this whole story. They've created a whole website, multiple of them. You're going to see this has gone on in like on Instagram, on Facebook. Just wait till I show you what I found on Facebook. They're taking out multiple ads from a person, an elected official in the US, and they run these ads and they only last for an hour before Facebook shuts them down, and then they just start another one. And it's the same thing. So you really need to be on guard what you're coming across on social media and find your vulnerabilities and feel like what would make you feel like that you could get scammed. And having that self-awareness and then setting boundaries in place before you encounter it is going to protect you. The only defense against these things is awareness and education. Okay, CTV News journalist, what would you say to those who still doubt the safety of the system? Mark Carney, we have implemented an automatic investment insurance system. Even in the event of unsuccessful transactions, users will receive at least 98% of their initial investments. Wow. It looks like you can make so much money with such a low investment and have it virtually guaranteed. That's a scam. All right, BNN Bloomberg journalist. How difficult is it for ordinary citizens to become part of the program, Mark Carney? The registration process is as simple as possible. You need to go to the official Bitcoin Canada website and fill out the registration form. Wait to receive a call from an official platform representative to clarify the details, and then make a minimum deposit of $355. After the funds are received, the system starts working automatically. Access to the platform is via a secure personal account where users can track all transactions in real time. This is terrifying to me, that you have to fill out a registration form and somebody's going to phone you. Oh, I don't even know how this scam is going to unfold. If they're going to get you to download something, you'll send you a text, and then you got a text back. Like, this could just be such a disaster. There's so many scams, like, where people just lose all of their life savings. They get access to your phone, they hack your banking information, and it could happen with something like this. So you're gonna fill out a form, somebody's gonna phone you, and then this is so bad. All right, 4-step registration process, and they have another ridiculous little chart here. Further down, they spell out the steps, so I'm not going to read this. DR journalist, won't citizens be concerned that the program will end or be shut down after the first wave of users? I wish they would, but if they're reading this thus far and they're really excited about this, they're most likely going to get scammed. Mark Carney, no, this program is designed as a long-term initiative. Our government intends to support its operation on an ongoing basis. The only limitation is the number of participants in the initial phase. Currently, only 15,000 registration spots are open. We predict that within 24 hours after the end of this conference, all spots will be filled. It's funny because this story just keeps happening over and over and over again, CBC News journalist, what benefits will the state receive from citizens starting to invest through Bitcoin Canada? Mark Carney, our goal is to create a financially stable society. When citizens receive a reliable source of passive income, it strengthens the economy, reduces the burden on the social system, and stimulates consumption. Furthermore, the growth of citizens' incomes contributes to increased tax revenues in the future. All starting with 15,000 lucky people, so-called. I wonder how many people have been scammed by this. This is so sad. Okay, expert opinions, exclusive comments for our editorial team. Following the press conference, our editorial team decided to get comments from leading financial experts in Canada for an independent assessment of the government's Bitcoin Canada platform. The reason why I'm reading out the entirety of this website is because I want it documented and shown how in-depth scammers will go to scam people, and why, if you just are unaware of these things, that you can get sucked in. And this one, they're going to a lot of effort for this. There's a lot of money being put behind this. So to me, that says a lot of people are getting scammed. I found this by just scrolling around on X. The person that had tipped me off about this had found it on Instagram. Okay, so this is Michael Langford, Professor of Finance, Rotman School of Management, University of Toronto. I don't even know if these people exist or if their image and their credentials are being used without their knowledge in this scam. Similar, like the Prime Minister is being used right now. It's CBC. It's just, can you imagine if you see yourself on this, you're like, that's me. I'm being used in this scam. This stuff needs to stop. All right. We are seeing a new approach to accessing financial markets. The Bitcoin Canada platform could be an important step in the field of personal investment. The government is making technology accessible to everyone, creating an opportunity for the growth of citizens' living standards. Danielle Chen, financial analyst, RBC Capital Markets. The set threshold of $355 is indeed optimal. I hope there's going to be somebody that is watching this video and you are actually one of these people and I can't even believe this is happening. Too low a threshold could overload the system, while a high one would limit citizens' access to the program. Yeah, an initial investment. I'm surprised they didn't use some kind of number like $397 or $333, It is important that the system creates favorable conditions. Citizens gain access to investment instruments, and the state strengthens the financial stability of the population. Well, I'll tell you right now, there's another glaring red flag for every Canadian right now. Do you see how they spelled the word favorable? That alone will probably tip people off. Where's the U? Okay, next one. Priya Verma, PhD AI Specialist, University of British Columbia. The platform uses deep learning algorithms that analyze market fluctuations. The key advantage of the system is making decisions in a second, which is inaccessible to humans. Unlike humans, AI is not subject to emotions when making decisions. Technically, this is a very ambitious project, and I am impressed that the government is investing resources in such innovative solutions. This could be so many multi-level marketing pyramid schemes right now. How many have we seen where they use this thing? It's like it's unlike humans. AI, it's just AI is the magic. You know, AI knows more. It has access to all the information. No, it isn't subject to emotions, but the person that is getting sucked into this scam is being emotionally manipulated right now. All right. Greg Mitchell, cybersecurity expert, Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity. The platform uses encryption to protect all transactions. We conducted independent testing and found that the system surpasses standard banking security protocols. Multi-factor authentication and constant monitoring help reduce risks for users. Important. According to information from government sources, at the time of publication of this material, there are approximately 890 free places left in the Bitcoin Canada program. At the current rate of registrations, these places may be filled in the coming days. Another red flag. So then you can start seeing how they use that fear of missing out, that urgency. There's free places that are left in this program, and yet you need to pay $355 because that's the optimal amount. Once you know the red flags to look for, these things are much easier to spot. It's not free, and there is no 890, and I wonder if they change this with each. If you come across this ad or this scam, I'd like to know if that number changes. More detailed information can be found on the official website of the Government of Canada, which publishes all technical specifications of the platform, terms of participation, and answers to frequently asked questions. I did not click that link either. So it seems to me that they're misleading consumers by saying that whatever you're going to click on is going to take you to the official website of the Government of Canada. Instructions for registration on the state investment platform Bitcoin Canada. Approved by decree of the Council of Ministers dated May the 12th, 2025. Okay, so here's the procedure now. Follow the official registration link. Again, I didn't click on that. I don't recommend you click on that. Stay the hell away from this thing. Enter your contact information correctly. Await a call from an official representative to confirm your details. Make the minimum deposit of $355. I wonder what happens in that phone call. They just phone you right away. And I wonder if you're giving them your credit card or your banking information. Oh, this is making me sick to my stomach. I wonder how many seniors are going to be sucked into this thing, The system will start automatically after the transaction is confirmed. Registration applications are accepted until... It just says until. I paused the video and then I just went back onto the website to see if I had missed a screenshot, and it just ends there. So that's another red flag when you see some kind of obvious error like that. But I'm quite surprised that this particular scam site doesn't have more errors. They're getting more sophisticated, which is really scary. So below that, it just says, important, your place in the program is reserved for 2 hours. So this is, say you do get sucked in and you fill in your contact information, you wait this phone call, you're like, oh, I want to wait on it. You're going to be pressured to make a decision right now. Another hallmark characteristic of a scam, when there's that urgency, you need to act now. You're going to miss out. This is a ground floor opportunity. This is meant to circumvent your critical thinking. You need to take the time to make a decision. I have my own boundaries in place now. When I come across something, I'll take a week or 2 weeks off before I make a decision. And if it's that urgent, then it's a scam. I don't want any part of it. My life will be fine without it. So having this, you were just sitting there, you come across this ad, you follow it, and in a very short period of time, you're already willing to possibly invest $355 and then think you're going to be missing out, and you're almost going to be talking yourself into the scam at this point. This is how another angle of these things. So just be mindful of that. If you start feeling that pull of you're wanting to talk to somebody about it, but you start defending this and you don't know anything about this, an hour before you didn't even know this thing existed, and suddenly you're getting really excited about it. And that's a good sign. You're like, oh no, I'm being manipulated. Why am I acting like this? So it's okay. So many of us have been scammed. That's why I make pieces of content like this. I hope you don't get scammed. Run away from this thing. All right. If you do not answer the call from the official representative and confirm your participation within this time, your place will be transferred to another participant. Please be attentive and confirm your participation on time to guarantee it. State guarantees. According to the law on the protection of citizens' investments, all transactions through the Bitcoin Canada platform are insured by the state and the Bank of Canada. The minimum refund is 98%. Preferential taxation is provided. We recommend registering now to reserve a position even if you plan to deposit funds later. Official website, again, did not click that. Now here's the comments. This is nuts. So this is from Maple Moose 7 minutes ago. My wife is a financial analyst and has always noticed projects like this. Now she's in shock. The system really makes money. We've already withdrawn the first funds. It's amazing. This is social proof. This is why on the outside of these scams, it's so important to have victims, survivors, other people that know about these scams to add their experiences in the comments to counteract this nonsense. The comments are important when you're exposing scams. Look at, they're using comments, fake comments on a fake investment scam. This is wild to me. Maybe you've seen this before. I just usually cover multi-level marketing pyramid schemes. This is just nuts to me. Connor Bailey, I've never seen anything like it before. Stumbled upon this news and decided to try, and wow, $835 is already mine. Here's the link if you need it. Well, he got rich so quick. This person that doesn't exist. Nate Barrington, 76. Honestly, this is an unexpected announcement from our government, but I personally know 3 people who participated in testing this platform. One of them is even planning to quit their main job. Somebody could, within 10 minutes or less, could lose at least $355, if not more, if not their life savings, just from inadvertently coming across this scam and going into the comments and not realizing, not having that awareness of oh my God, I'm being manipulated here. You don't even know these people are fake and saying, oh, this person is I'm going to quit my job. I know somebody who's quitting my job. Oh, this is so sad. True North J. At first I read it and thought it was nonsense, but in the end it got me hooked. Thanks to the government, I'm going to try to invest $355 a day. And look at, there's all these random numbers of likes. Like that fake comment has a fake 59 thumbs up. We see this with multi-level marketing pyramid schemes too. The skeptic. I was a skeptic. I had tried everything before. I had tried other multi-level marketing companies in the past, but this one I knew it was different. I'm so glad I got out of my comfort zone. It's similar language. Owen Tech 64. I have a technical background and I understand how AI works. Theoretically, such a program could exist, but I'm surprised that the government has given ordinary citizens access to it. Grizzly thinker. Something makes me doubt that the government would so simply create such a project for citizens. This is a really elegant scam. And now they've got another fake person, Martin Walsh, replying to Grizzly Thinker. I'm not sure if it will always be like this, but I've already made 200%. Look at this. So they're they're populating the comments with people who are, oh, I'm skeptical about this, and then somebody else posting this. This reminds me of multi-level marketing participants posting their check, blurring it out. Ooh, I'm part of the comma club now. Look at this thing. This is so stupid. I've made 200%. Oh. Okay, kind Canuck. Look at even the names of these fake people. It's meant to be familiar. Grizzly Thinker. Are you kidding me? Kind Canuck. Whoever has come up with this scam, I hope you get a tick somewhere you don't want it and you can't get it off. That's what I hope. This is so bad. Okay, I already read that one. All right. Kind Canuck. Thank you for the care our government shows for its citizens. Cozy Cabin Dad. If they could have images of people, they would have people like with, they'd probably have Canadian Tire. They would have Tim Hortons, and they'd have people wearing plaid shirts for sure. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm really being taken care of. I would like to try this program to pay off my mortgage. Rose Maple. Oh, of course, maple. I'm surprised I don't have maple syrup on here next. I read this article and did everything according to the instructions from the government. 2.5 hours have passed since my first deposit, and there's already $170 in my account. Now I'll try to withdraw the funds to my card. And then a fake person responds to the fake other person. Hey, did the money withdrawal go through successfully? Yes, everything is great. The money arrived on my card within a minute. It's just amazing. Wow, thank goodness you just happened to stumble across. I mean, this is all fake, right? But for somebody that's coming across this, like, I want you to think how absurd this whole is. They've created this whole story. There's been so much effort put into this. Ads like this, and they change it up too, have gone out all over social media. And you think that you are just fortunate enough to stumble across this social media post and think, oh, I'm going to be one of the lucky ones. You've been targeted by a scam, and it can, this is just, I can't even believe how well done this is, you know, it's messed up. Okay. So that's that particular website. Now I want to show you what I found on Facebook when I started to look for this thing. So I had found somebody that had posted, this is the image. And thank goodness for people on Facebook warning others about this scam. And this is the image that I had come across on X. That's why I thought I finally found it. So this is what it shows. It shows, you know, a CBC news person and then Prime Minister Mark Carney in the background. And it says, Mark Carney's address may trigger steps that could impact the way millions of Canadians live. And then below it says cbc.ca. After Mark Carney's recent speech, the financial sector can't whatever. And now it was a sponsored ad on Facebook by, look at it, State Representative Renita Shannon. This is a state representative. Her Facebook page has been hijacked by scammers that run ads on it. And there have been a lot of ads being run on this. And Facebook keeps shutting them down, and you'll see the ad runs for an hour and then it gets shut down. And so I don't know how, you know, big this network of scammers are and on what other platforms this is on. Like, I know it's on Facebook, Instagram, and on X. I don't know where else it is, but it's really scary to see how tenacious these scammers will go. Like, they just keep posting, and there doesn't seem to be any ability to shut this thing down. So there's been warnings that have gone out. So I did see this investor alert from Saskatchewan, and this was released in June last month, June 4th, 2024, investor alert, impersonation scam uses Prime Minister Mark Carney's image and fake news articles to target Saskatchewan people. Well, it's not just targeting Saskatchewan people, it's targeting all Canadians. This needs to be, I don't know, there needs to be some like nationwide scam alert on this stuff, because people aren't going to know. This needs to be blasted out on the platforms that they're allowed to be shown on. That's what I think needs to happen, in my opinion. This needs to be, people need to know about this on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. I don't know where else this thing is on, but that's what I think. Because who's going to go on, you know, the Saskatchewan website and know that, you know, there's an investor alert? People are scrolling on social media. They're tired. They're worried about their bills, they're uncertain about their future, they're in a prime vulnerable moment. It could just be a moment that they happen to click on this ad. You know, if it had to happen 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after, they wouldn't have been vulnerable, but it just happened to be that time. And that's when they get sucked in. There just needs to be more public awareness about this. And it's really important for us to discuss this publicly too, just to take the sting of shame out of it if you have been scammed, because a lot of people are too afraid to even talk about this, because a lot of people will just be jerks about it and say, well, it would never happen to me. Anybody that says it wouldn't happen to you, you're probably already getting scammed by a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, because you saying you couldn't get scammed is your Achilles heel. You'd be the easiest person to target and drip on over time. And say, oh, I know, because you want to be known, you want to distinguish yourself from others, that you are different. You wouldn't be fooled by that. And that pride is your vulnerability. You'd be like, yeah, I know what you mean. I feel the same way. I feel exactly like you. Those people are so stupid. I mean, it's so obvious. Who would get sucked into this? And then you'd be like, yeah, I know. You want people. You want the admiration of people. You really care what people think about you, and you expose yourself to be getting scammed by that. And I don't want to see you get scammed, even if you're a jerk thinking that you're better than others and you're not going to get scammed. Nobody deserves to get scammed. Okay, that's it. Yes, this video could have been condensed to 5 minutes. I'm probably going to make shorter versions of this and post it on Instagram and Facebook just to warn people. But I wanted to do like a longer video to show the entirety of this scam, this ad or this post that is circulating around. It's really important to dissect it line by line, or just read it. Get it out there so people are familiar with this. Glossing it over can really do a disservice to people who are uncertain how to identify a scam. When they're out here, even just, perish socially on YouTube watching this, people can be reading it along and think, yeah, I could see how this could have fooled me. Or you might have had a conversation with your neighbor and they had mentioned something and you're like, oh my God, I've got to tell them to watch this video and save them from getting scammed. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for warning fellow Canadians about this. And I mean, people like your friends around the world. I know this is going on, in other countries. And normally I make anti-multi-level marketing content, anti-MLM. This is just a bit different. This is anti-scam. But if you are interested in learning more about multi-level marketing pyramid schemes, that's really what I focus on. I was scammed myself. I was defrauded. I'm also a whistleblower. And what I do is I make videos on YouTube, across other social media platforms too. I don't monetize my content. All of this is volunteer and free. I want just to warn fellow Canadians, fellow consumers around the world, the warning signs, what to look for so you can avoid getting scammed and make the world a better place. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.